Is Dad gone?
He's not gone, honey. But we just agreed that it's better if we don't live together anymore.
I'm glad you kicked him out. What a loser.
This is the story of Walter Black, a hopelessly depressed individual. The successful and loving family man he used to be has gone missing. And no matter what he's tried, Walter can't seem to bring him back.
What's that?
It's a brain. Mom says yours got broken.
So you can see that Walter is a man who's lost all hope. But he's about to find his voice.
Mel has such a fantastic line in this movie where he says, everyone loves a train wreck as long as it's not happening to them, which I think is fantastic. Do you think people unjustly are enjoying watching what's happening to Mel right now?
I have no idea. I don't know. I know the man that I know, and who's an extraordinary friend, incredibly loyal, and probably I will go out and say the most beloved man that I've ever worked with, hands down. Maybe Chow Yun-fat is the other most beloved man, but you know, there isn't anybody you could ever find that has met him or worked with him that doesn't enjoy him, that doesn't love him.
Is it frustrating then, as like knowing that side of him and knowing, like I said, I think he deserves an Oscar for this, and having this performance, having this movie, and still having people believe that one said, do you feel like you need to step up and say those things for him?
I think that you have to present the movie that you love and make the movie you love and say that's gift enough. You know, he gave me the most extraordinary performance, and I'll always be grateful for that. And the good news is it exists. It's out there. It's on DVD. It's on, you know, on a 35mm print that's about to come to your neighborhood. So it exists on its own, and it will stand on its own and tell you on its own. And I can't control who goes to see what. You know, I don't know. I have no idea who will go see it.
Bloody hell. Look at you. I'm sick. Do you want to get better? Who are you? I'm the Beaver, Walter. And I'm here to save your damn life.
So honestly, I love the message of this movie, this idea that no matter what you go through, you're never on your own. You always kind of have someone there with you. What was a tough time that you went through with your life, and who was that person that helped you along in those tough times?
Gosh, I don't know. I was a solitary kid, and in some ways loneliness has been a figure of every movie that I've made, and also, you know, a huge part of my life. And I always say that it's delicious loneliness because, you know, when you're an actor, an artist, when you create things, there's this beautiful thing that you have this tragic art form that nobody else really understands, and it feels good to not let anybody else be able to touch it in some ways, and yet incredibly lonely. So I guess my mom, you know, she was the one person that was able to kind of get inside my work life and also just be there for me.
So you need that. You need to be able to be on your own and kind of back off a little bit from people to succeed in this.
I think so. I mean, I think that's what artists are, and in some ways depression. Obviously in this film we're talking about a lot about chemical depression, which is very different than just regular old, you know, state-of-the-art depression that we all go through. But, you know, depression in some ways is about ruminating on things that are tough and getting through your life by really, you know, dissecting it and saying, why did this happen? And why do you think he did this? And why did that happen? And you really can't get through those things or create great art unless you continually go over and over and over the reasons and the motivations for that particular bit of drama.
The person who handed you this card is under the care of a prescription puppet designed to help create a psychological distance between himself and the negative aspects of his personality.
This is a joke, right?
No, son, it's a fresh start.
I'm not talking to you, nutjob. I'm talking to Mom.
Good morning, all. As of now, Walter was resigning and putting me in charge. The funniest waste of month. Have a look at this.
A beaver?
It's the future.
Mr. Beaver woodchopper kit selling out in droves.
I've been very patient when I want you, not him.
This man is a dead end. He's gone.
You know, so much about this movie is all about starting over and being able to wipe clean.
Right.
Do you find, like, do you need to do that in this business? How many times do you have to just say, okay, you know what, I've got to stop, I've got to start over?
I don't know if it's so much about business, but in my life, you know, I have been really informed, and I feel like I've evolved through spiritual crises. All my movies are about that. My first film, Little Man Tate, is about a 7-year-old with a spiritual crisis, and I felt like that happened to me when I was that age as well. You know, it's only by by looking at these crises head on, that you were able to evolve and to change into the person you're going to be, not just the person you were. And looking forward and saying, I am not that woman, I am not that man, I am now this new person that's evolved through change, I think is extraordinarily helpful and good for you.
I fought for you, and I will continue to fight for you because I love you.
I want Daddy.
I know, buddy. When I was a little kid, all I ever wanted was to be like you. And then I got older, I just wanted to be anybody else.
I know.
I love Jennifer Lawrence's speech at the end of the film, where she says that the idea that everything is going to be okay is a lie.
Yeah, everybody tells you from the time you're 2, you know, you hurt your knee, they say it's going to be okay. Your mom dies, everything's going to be okay. Your boyfriend leaves you, everything's going to be okay. You're about to commit suicide, everybody says it's going to be okay. Well, what if it isn't, you know? What if it isn't okay? And what if tragedy is really a part of our lives and something that we're destined to? You know, where do you put that? Where do you put the struggle and the pain and the joy and all the roller coaster of what this life is? You know, do you just medicate it away? And I think the answer in this film is you know, you have to own it and hope. The good news is that there's somebody next to you who loves you and that will carry you and hold you and who will love you despite all that.
You think people have a hard time realizing that everything's just not going to be okay, that they just want that perfect, flowery image of life?
I think we do. I think in America especially, we just feel like we can fix everything. You know, you can just fix everything. And the problem with that is that when you don't grieve and when you don't experience emotions fully, when you don't allow yourself to, you actually can never get over them. And then you create you know, more problems in your life because you haven't actually experienced the emotions that are appropriate.
Absolutely. It's one of the greatest honors of my life speaking
Thank
with
you.
you. Thank you so much. The movie is absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you
Thank
very
you so much. Have a great day.
So I swim until you can't see one. Swim until you can't see one. Swim until you can't see one. Are you Iman? Are you a pirate son? Are you Iman?
Where do we start?
We start with a good part.